is Rick Coward of Delmarva Historic Haunts.
I'm Wendy Robinson.
And we're in the very historic Tillie Pierce House. This is my fourth time here.
It's my second.
Okay. We did get some great things as far as the paranormal things here last time that we were here. Corey did experience some things. We'll go through this. We're going to go through the house and talk about them one by one. First of all, I'd like to say the front door we just went into was the same front door that Tillie Pierce came through the first day. What happened was people were upset because they had a long time of people telling them the Rebs are going to come, the Rebs are going to come, the Rebs are going to come. They were on edge all the time in this town. It sort of reminds me of the Cuban Missile Crisis when I was a kid. We were on edge. We thought the world was going to end.
Right.
You know, and it's sort of like the same thing, but the world was going to end because the Southern boys were going to come into town. So they went through this fiasco for several months, saying that every week a kid would run down the street saying the Rebs are coming, the Rebs are coming. Everybody would slam their doors and all this. The actual time that it did happen, Tillie Pierce was just a couple blocks away, and by the time she hit this front door here, she could see the Rebs coming up the street.
Wow.
Can you imagine the way they felt? Because these were really strong Union people. They were like deep blue. So it was like the end of the world for them.
That's been terrifying.
Yeah. And the Rebs came in, they ransacked homes, and they asked for different things. And one of them was horses. They needed them really bad. And Tillie had a horse named Sam. And they took her horse, believe it or not. And she was very upset about the horse, as you can see, because I mean, she was fond of it. It was her horse.
Right.
And
it was a family pet.
Yeah, and they rode it till it was lame. But she had all kinds of horror stories about this place, and we're going to go through them a little bit at a time, and let you know. But the main thing is, the first day when she was here, they tried to hide her for a while, but then they figured, well, they were going to go ahead and see if she could leave, and she actually, instead of going to a safe house, which she was going to go to eventually get there, what she did is she rode directly into the vandal itself.
By mistake.
By mistake, right through the two round tops, right up the road, and it took her several days to get there. And the end of the day of her first day, when she was leaving the house, the last thing she saw was coffins laying all the way up and down the street here, and the Union boys walking by saying, "I wonder if it's going to be mine."
Wow.
And she actually sang to them. They were in front of her school, right up the street here, and they were standing. It was streets of High and
Washington.
Yeah, and they sang this song, and it's just remarkable, the stories that this young girl told.
She was only about 15 at the time.
Yeah, so we're going to go through her house. Here they just hear bangs and footsteps and things. This was a field hospital, like everything here.
Right.
Throughout the months after the battle here.
Right.
The battle was 3 days, but it took months and months and months. But the story she tells in her book about the bloated horses, they took the Union off first, the dead, and they left the Southern boys out there in the sun. So you can imagine the stink and such things. And she actually carried arms and legs. I mean,
wow.
It changed her life. It changed everybody's life. This town never really was the same.
Right.
Something like that is just and with undone things, the paranormal seem to come out. Well, what more undone thing than the Civil War? The Civil War was just so many lives were cut short. So many dreams were not there anymore. In the end, it was good, but while it was going on, it wasn't.
Right.
For sure. So we're going to go on. We're going to go on to another room. We're going to go upstairs, and we'll catch you short. Right. We're in the dining room, as you can see. Apparently, there's a stain on the floor, and we'll show you that in a second there. But that used to be where the butcher block was. because they actually cut up their stuff here, and so it probably wasn't used as a kitchen. Maybe it was, but they had a table inside, but not a formal
Right.
thing like this. Although the Pierce family was prominent.
Well off.
Yeah, well off. The house was not new. Even then, it was 1830 or so when this place was built. So they're a well-established family in town. And she did go to a really fine prep school right up the street. So they weren't poor. But still, the war did affect them
Sure.
like everybody else. Anyway, so they have heard some things in here. Chairs have moved and stuff like that. All right, we're in the blue room, and you're staying here tonight.
I am. Very excited.
You got the most haunted room.
Yay!
How did that happen?
I don't know. I just
could,
sort of
could it be that you picked the room?
I did pick the room, but I didn't know the stories when I picked the room.
Okay.
But I'm not sorry.
Well, anyway, this is Tillie Pierce, and this is what we've been reading. It's her memoirs of the Handle itself. It's a very cool book to read, and she's boning up on it now so we can investigate. Everybody will know everything, okay? The blue room is kind of cool. Corey was in here last year, and upstairs they heard rolling and walking and talking all night. They thought it was another investigator, but he was sound asleep. They were mad at him for staying up late. There's a black mist that comes from this corner here, they say.
I've heard that people wake up in the middle of the night and they feel like someone's sitting on the edge of their bed. They can feel like the weight on the edge of the bed.
Right.
And they also feel like they're being watched. Someone's sitting there.
Right. So, I don't know, but a lot of people, and actually there was a couple that did not stay here the whole night, and they paid for two. That did happen. They left. They said, "We don't care. We're gone." So
Wow.
apparently something happened to them. They said their bed shook. I think it was the bed thing. So anyway, do you like being shaken?
Yeah, no problem. Shaken, not stirred.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. So we're in the pink room?
We are in the pink room. And last year, one of our investigators, Diane, stayed in this room, and she said that while she was in here, someone talked directly into her ear, and then throughout the night, she heard like little rumblings and mumbles, and like someone was talking all night long.
So we're in the largest room of the house, and they've had things move on. They actually had this latch here move up and down
Wow.
like this, and then we had an investigator bang on this go, and then we actually had something boom boom,
Bang back, huh?
and no one was in the house.
Wow.
So that was impressive. So, but a lot of people have heard this like that. We're going to be here for 2 nights. We're going to film both nights and see what we can get. So, you have anything else to say?
I'm excited.
You're excited.
Rock
Okay.
and roll.
All right, so let's rock and roll, and we'll talk soon.
Absolutely. It's gonna have to cross over the steps at some point.